everybody, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Today I've got some post-hype sleepers for you, brought to you by Vuori, makers of some of my favorite clothes on the planet. More about Vuori and why I love them in a little while. What do we mean when we say post-hype sleepers? We're talking about players about whom there has been significantly more buzz that they might break out in the past, but they didn't quite do it, and maybe now the breakout will come after everyone's sort of out on the player. I should note we did this list on the podcast last week, but I'm only going to have a couple of overlap names for you. This will be 5 guys, 3 of them new, exclusive for YouTube. So more post-hype sleepers for you in 2023. At number 5, I will start out by cheating. I'll give you 2 guys for the price of 1. The 2 veteran Dolphins running backs, Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert. Wilson interests me more. I think he's better. He's also younger. I think he's more consistent. By the way, did anyone ever tell you that Raheem Mostert used to be a track star? It's true, and the announcers never say it. Anyway, certainly Mostert has been the subject of more hype in his NFL career because every so often he breaks it into the clear and does this. But anyway, this is about draft day value this year, finding an ADP that we can rely on. It's hard because all ADPs are sort of their own silos, but almost no matter where you look, Wilson is pick 157, Mostert's pick 149, or Mostert's 140, Wilson's 165. These guys are free at the ends of drafts. And of course, I know the drill. The Dolphins may yet sign Dalvin Cook or another veteran, at which point my interest here will wane. But we're to the 3rd week in August, and they still haven't done that yet. And the only other running back in Miami is 5'9", 187-pound rookie Devon Achane. If this is it, if this is the backfield, I personally think Jeff Wilson is a good enough player to be the lead of a committee backfield on a very good team. But I also understand Mostert's good attributes as well. I'd take a chance on either one of them in the 12th round, 13th round. Put him on that bench, see how it plays out. Number 4 on my YouTube post-hype sleeper list, someone I did not mention on the podcast, second-year Colts wideout Alec Pierce. You know how this goes. Every year, more than a dozen wideouts get taken in the first few rounds of the NFL draft, and you can't escape some expert somewhere hyping up every single one of them. Oh, you don't understand. This guy's the truth. Never mind that they can't all be the truth. Most of them will never be the truth, but it doesn't matter that most of them never pop because by the next season, it's on to the next college class of receivers. Anyway, that's a good reason to be real skeptical of people fluffing up rookie wideouts, and Alec Pierce got fluffed last year. He was a 2nd-round pick. He had a clear path to starting, but he had dead-armed Matt Ryan throwing it to him, and Pierce wound up with 41 catches, 593 yards. In fantasy drafts this year, Pierce is free. Take him with your last pick, and I don't hate it. I can't tell you whether Anthony Richardson is ready to have any fantasy-relevant wideouts during his rookie year, but what we understand about Richardson, his arm is big, and Pierce is the deep man in the Colts offense. Michael Pittman does more, is a better route runner, is bigger, gets to run against zone in the middle of the field, and yeah, I like Michael Pittman more for 2023, but he's also got a price tag. Pierce is free. So, channel some of those Gabriel Davis vibes. The stuff that you believed last year about Gabriel Davis could happen this year for Alec Pierce. Let's see if he can be a deep sleeper who contributes in his 2nd season. Let me take a minute here and thank Vuori for sponsoring this episode. Vuori makes casual clothing I love, shorts and tees. They got a brand new core jogger, moisture-wicking stretch woven fabric, incredibly comfortable for watching football or playing football. Vuori has clothes for men and women, and the sustainability angle also makes me feel good about Vuori. They make their clothes with recycled material, and the company's completely carbon neutral. If you like these videos and you think these clothes look cool, please support Vuori. Go to vuoriclothing.com/Harris, and if you do that, you'll get 20% off your first purchase. I cannot thank the kind people at Vuori enough for sponsoring vuoriclothing.com/Harris. At number 3 among the post-hype sleepers, I'll take a shot on Courtland Sutton, the Broncos wideout. It's been a long road back from Sutton's torn ACL very early in 2020. Now, he's played in 32 of a possible 34 games the last 2 years, and he's obviously suffered from having Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, and invasion of the body-snatched Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. But it's also fair to wonder, will he ever be the kind of consistent deep threat he was in 2019? Yeah, I can't tell you that. I don't think anyone can tell you that for real. Sutton has been running around out there in camp this summer. He got some targets in the preseason, looked like he was moving okay. I don't know. We're going to have to see it in action. I admit, I prefer Jerry Jeudy's quickness and route running to Sutton's size and contested catchability, but honestly, not by that much. Pretty much no matter where you look, Jeudy goes 5 or 6 rounds ahead of Sutton. I don't know where that's coming from. Any worry that you have about Sutton's situation, you also have about Jeudy's situation. I don't know how he's suddenly bulletproof here, and I've actually seen Courtland Sutton actually do an 1,100-yard season in the NFL. I'm 3 years in and still waiting on that for Jerry Jeudy. If you're telling me that Sutton can be had in the second half of my draft, like the 9th round on, I'll be getting him a bunch for my bench. At number 2, both Jamie Eisenberg and I picked Rashad Penny for our post-hype sleeper lists on the podcast, and I'll put him here too. I get it. The answer in the Eagle backfield might be none of those guys. Just this past weekend, the word was, oh man, watch out. It's actually Kenneth Gainwell who's the starter, despite the fact that the Eagles brought in DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. And you know, maybe that's true. Maybe Gainwell will wind up more involved than anyone suspected. But Gainwell's never really been hyped before, so I don't know if he could really be on the post-hype sleeper list. DeAndre Swift is going as a 6th or a 7th round pick and probably should be valued highest as the most talented of this Eagles backfield group. But Rashad Penny, barely a top 100 pick right now, and if he happens to finally have a healthy season, which I know that's a big if, but of this group, who's the most similar to Miles Sanders, who left for Carolina? I would argue it's Penny, big-time north-south acceleration for a larger man. And to be clear, he's really large. Penny outweighs even Sanders by at least 10 pounds. Penny is a former first-round NFL draft pick who finally really flashed in Seattle in 2021, and I admit the likeliest scenario is that he crashes out with another injury, but I enjoy grabbing him in the 7th or 8th round because if he doesn't crash out, he's really the only Philly running back I can actually see turning into a true leading man as the season wears on. And my number 1 post-hype sleeper, you know, he's not sexy, he's not exciting on film, but he's fun, and I'm still drafting him, Jakobi Meyers. I guess you could ask the question how hyped he's ever really been. I don't know, 2 years ago in New England, Meyers was a 9th round draft pick in fantasy, 8th if you were getting a full point per reception. Now I'm seeing him, the earliest I see him is in the 11th. A lot of time it's like the 13th. And I know Devontae Adams, of course, is the main person who'll get fed in Vegas. And I also know Jimmy Garoppolo is no great bet to stay healthy himself. But Meyers is made for both Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels. He's a precision route runner who's always exactly where he's supposed to be, perfect for Jimmy G, who sometimes isn't the most aggressive guy, and who does take a lot of checkdowns, and also for McDaniels, who loves the 3rd and 6th throw exactly 6 yards, who signed Meyers because he knows what Meyers can do from their time together in New England. In Yahoo half-point per reception leagues, Meyers is currently going undrafted. Now, that's not true in all formats, in all leagues, but you might find him for free in a lot of drafts. I admit he's not a super exciting fantasy weapon, but the price of a potentially high double-digit round pick, there's a world where we get to October and we're ready to pencil Meyers into a PPR lineup every single week. That will do it for my post-hype sleeper list. Tell us what you think in the comments, and also give us your ideas for some sleepers this season who will perform well now that fewer people believe in them. Thanks to Viore for sponsoring, and thanks to you for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.